Hi, I'm Shaa and I'm the founder of Smarter. Now, one of the reasons I set Smarter up was to help as many small businesses as I can, and that's why I'm looking forward to personally helping Jane today.
Hi, I'm Jane Lawton. I'm a manufacturer and we manufacture gardens for the UK consumer. So we buy all the nation's waste board, paper, then we repulp it and make our garden grow box garden boxes. Then we fill them with a growing medium, seeds and bulbs, and then the consumer simply plants the box and grows a garden. So vegetables, herbs or flowers.
So welcome to my garden in London, and what I want to do is actually show you where we've planted some of your grow boxes.
Brilliant.
So from memory, you're going to tell me what they are, I think we've planted a mix of flowers, and I think over there we've planted some vegetables as well.
Brilliant.
Now I definitely need help on the vegetables because I've got no idea what needs pulling up or leaving in or anything, so maybe I can show you.
That'd be great, great. These are the broad beans. So these are the flowers for the broad beans. You can see each flower will become a really long pod of broad beans. So you'll probably have about 10 beans. With the beans we've got garlic, chives, tomatoes and carrots. So the little seedlings should hopefully start to come up and through. Yeah, they'll come through soon. Well, Shaa, as you know, I've got a problem with my website. It's rubbish.
Well, this is honest.
And I haven't had any sales for the last 2 months.
Oh my God, 2 months, no sales?
No months, too.
And what about before that? What about the rest of the year?
We've probably just about turned over about £3,000.
In the whole year?
In the whole year.
Last month?
Probably about £120.
Okay, so, I mean, the good news is you've got a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
The bad news is, oh my God, what have you been doing?
I know. I can't understand it. I don't know whether it's because the internet market slowed because it's summer, people have gone away and they're not gardening, or there just seems to be so many more online companies that are selling our products.
Well, I think some of it could be that actually, as you said, other companies online are selling your product. Yeah. So it's not that people aren't buying your products online, they're just not buying them from you.
Just not buying them.
And obviously you really want them to be buying from you because that's where you're going to have your greatest profit margins.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, fundamentally, from our mentoring session, not just today, but ongoing, I think that until we crack that, I don't think we should focus on anything else because I think that's the single biggest thing that can make a difference to your business. Now, I believe that there's something else thrown into the mix as well, which is how you're using social media. Yeah. Because I think social media and getting your online presence right together, you should be doubling your sales. Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, to have none of your sales coming from online is unbelievable.
I know, and we did really well when we first, because this is a new website that we had, and the designers promised that we'd turn over probably about 100,000 on it. And to get we've probably turned over around probably about £2,000, £3,000, and that's only been for the first 3 months of the year.
Oh, I mean,
so
that's shocking, really.
Yeah.
Because you've got a great product. I think it's got a lovely brand. It's the type of thing that, as you said, that people, you know, even like me with a London garden and not very much time, can actually enjoy planting. Yeah. Great for gifts. So you've got the product right. I think you've got the packaging right. Yeah. I think you've got the branding right. Yeah. But there's this big element that's not working.
That's not working.
Okay, so taking all that into consideration, have you even heard of Google Analytics?
No.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay, well that's a good place to start because it means the only way is forward.
I know, I'm so sorry, no, I don't know. And I wouldn't know how to find it either.
Google Analytics is a free tool that helps you track everything that happens on your website. So it would show you not just how many people come into your website each month, but what pages they were going on to, how long they were staying on a certain page, because there's a couple of things that you need to be able to understand. Yeah. The overall number of people who come into your website, obviously that's really important and we want to make sure that we keep growing that. But also it's the number of people that are converting. So if there's 100 people come into your website and 10 people are actually buying, that's a really good conversion rate. You've got a 10% conversion rate. Yeah. And then what you need to check is that when you do certain things, does that conversion rate change? Like when you have special offers, does it increase your conversion rates? Yeah. So then you can start to figure out what's working and what's not. And actually, I think I think really the beauty of online is the fact that you can track everything so easily, and then make changes to your business so you can improve it based on real facts and statistics on how people are actually using your site.
So do you just go online and just go into Google and just...
Do you know how the website's built? Who manages the website? Do you manage it yourself?
We manage it ourselves, but
so you can change the content quite easily?
Yeah, it's got a really good ease of use content manager, but the whole back end, like the front page, that's controlled by a company called Vanilla Storm. And I've been back to them, you know, obviously to say that we're going to be making changes because the sales aren't what they should be, etc. And they are prepared for change, but I think they underpin all the back end mechanism of it.
So I think there's two things that we should look at. First of all, you should call them today and get them to set up an account for you with Google Analytics and give you all the passwords and access. But because clearly they understand the back end, how it's built, they also, whilst you can control the content, I think it'll be a much quicker process for them to set up the account for you. Yeah. And then once the account's been set up, you can then manage it. I think we then have to look a little bit deeper and decide whether actually it might be better and even potentially less expensive starting from scratch than trying to rectify. Because oftentimes, I mean, the cost of technology has dramatically decreased. So, I mean, you can get a fabulous website up and running, e-commerce enabled for a few £1,000s now. Yeah. Whereas exactly the same site, maybe 10 years ago, might have cost you £30,000, £50,000. And I think that we just have to have a really good look and understand how it's built and understand, okay, what's it going to cost to create what we want versus what would it cost to start from scratch. And I know that seems a little bit like throwing money down a drain, but the potential for getting it right is huge. So I think that until we figure out what to do with the site, you should stick with your WordPress blog. But how often are you updating it?
Probably every 3 months at the moment.
Oh, that often?
I know.
You see, what's crazy is that when we went out into the garden, you could talk endlessly and passionately. Yeah. So it will be really easy for you to blog about these things because, you know, have you got an iPhone?
Yeah.
So you go out with your iPhone and you take a picture of some new things that you see coming out or somebody's garden that you visit. And you blog about what you've seen, and you blog about, you know, your new plants that are coming out, or you blog about your expert tips for the month of September. What should you be doing? What shouldn't you be doing? So how you told me that I should be pruning the plum tree now rather than in the winter because X, Y, and Z. So you know all of these things. You've got so much knowledge. And it would be so easy for you to blog. It would come naturally.
It is. You're right. You're absolutely right. And there is no excuse. I should just do it.
And it will make a huge, huge, huge difference to your web traffic. I think there are two key things for every small business to really understand and get control of and really use to drive their businesses forward. One is online. They have to have a website that works for them, that's driving them business. And two is the power and importance of social media. Because for too long, people have thought that social media is all about your social life, and it's not. Social media is about communication, whether that's communicating with your customers, your suppliers, or your potential customers. I just think that social media is the single most powerful and important marketing resource that small businesses have. And it's free. So, I mean, there's just no excuse for small businesses not to be using it.